Hey there folks, Wrel here, and this episode I'll be talking about the ins and outs of biotic explosions. In the background you'll see me trying to get the weekend challenge, which is Operation Detonator, over with. I was making a whole lot of stupid mistakes on my N7 Fury, who is not even close to being spec'd proper for a solo gold run, but in a handful of waves I've managed to finish 60% of my challenge completion. Anyway, biotic explosions is what I'm going to be talking about, and first and foremost they must be primed and then detonated with another biotic ability. So primers include Annihilation Aura, the Biotic Sphere Tier 6 Warp Evolution, Dark Channel, REAVE, Shockwaves Tier 6 Lift Evolution, Smashes Tier 4 Combo Evo, and Warp, Singularity, Pull, Lash, Stasis, Barrier Detonation, and Lift Grenade. So detonators, they include any impacting biotic attack, so you can't trigger detonation with Annihilation Field's Aura, or with Singularity. Even Pull won't trigger a biotic detonation. You also can't use the same ability to detonate a biotic combo after you set it up. Someone else can, however, so I can't warp a target and then warp it again to detonate, but if I prime a target with warp, somebody else can use warp to detonate my primer. A lot of primers can bypass armor, shields, and barriers, but only if those abilities affect the enemy in some way. So stasis can bypass shields and barriers to prime detonations, so you can stasis a phantom even if it has this barrier up, and you can then detonate it. But as we know, stasis doesn't work against armor, so it won't do anything. Like, you won't be able to stasis a Geth Pyro and then blow it up. Singularity is the exception, however, because it doesn't have to lift people or do pretty much anything to prime them with a detonation. As soon as you land a singularity on someone, Atlas or whatever, depending on any defenses, doesn't really matter, then you can also detonate them. So that's not too complicated, but the last and probably most important thing I want to talk about is how much damage biotic explosions actually do. Biotic explosions deal 2 times as much damage to barriers and armor, and their normal damage to shielded enemies, but the damage of a biotic explosion actually depends on the ranks of the abilities used to prime and detonate. For example, a rank 1 primer and a rank 1 detonator will do the least damage, whereas a rank 6 primer and a rank 6 detonator, god, words are hard, will do the most damage. This doesn't include bonuses to detonators given by specific abilities, like Warp has a specific tier that lets you increase the amount of damage that the detonations do. This isn't talking about that. Those bonuses actually, they affect detonations additively, meaning they're a flat percentage of damage added onto the explosion's damage. An important thing to note is that power damage gear like Mental Focuser or Omnicapacitor do not increase the damage of detonations. That's because the damage dealt by combos is actually normalized. It scales based on the health of the enemies. So even at higher difficulties like Gold and Platinum, your biotic detonations will actually be doing a relative amount of damage to those enemies. So this is probably the most important thing. Your abilities don't get weaker, your biotic combo rather, they don't get weaker at Gold and Platinum. They do, a relative amount of damage. So lastly, 1 power can only detonate 1 combo every time it's cast, so even if you have an AoE damage on a detonator, it will only detonate 1 primed target. So that's all for this episode, nice and short. If any of this information was new or useful to you, please comment, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about this channel. In the next episode, I'll be giving you some more of my thoughts on better gaming, where I talk about why games today are designed to make us unlock everything, and why some people will play games solely for those achievements. Until next time, folks, Wrel signing off.